Hi, how you doing today? My name is Lieutenant Colonel Wayne Wilbanks, and I'm the Air Force Junior ROTC instructor at Wiley East High School. Today I was asked to talk to you a little bit about a question that came up, and that is, why at the end of the pledges do we take a moment of silence? At that time, we've shown our respect to both flags, American and Texas, and now is your turn to sit and reflect on things that might be important to you. On any given day, it could be anything from just got through that math test, or it might be mom was upset with me this morning. What did I do to deserve that? It's a moment to just sort of calm things down, to take into consideration that, hey, I got a minute all by myself just to let the air calm down.
But also know it's a time for each student to reflect without having to worry about what is being said out loud. It gives them an opportunity to think of relatives or whatever else is on their mind. I know all the years I've been teaching, I've had a lot of my students that have gone off to war, have some that come back from Afghanistan and would let me know that things really not the way they appear to be sometimes. So I always take that time to reflect back on my students who have given up so much of their time and their lives in order to go over there and help us. So this is a very serious time, a time that we need to reflect on the fact that we are who we are, and we live in a land of freedom, and just always remember that freedom is not free.
The reason we do the Pledge of Allegiance is to acknowledge our freedoms. Our freedoms are very special. We are very unique as a nation. We don't pledge to a person. We don't pledge to the president, nor the governor, nor the senators, nor the congressmen. We pledge to the idea of freedom. When I took my oath in the United States Air Force, I didn't pledge to the Commander-in-Chief. I took an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And that's unique.
When I was a child of about 10, 11 years old, I grew up in a small town in Oklahoma, and there was a parade coming through town. As the parade was marching back around to go back to the starting point, the flags were going in front of the rest of the parade and passed by my grandfather's house. I was out mowing, and during that time, my grandfather came over, tapped me on the shoulder, had me cut the mower off, go over to the fence, and we both stood very silently and respectfully with our hats off as the flag passed by the house. I didn't fully understand or comprehend what he meant for me to do at that time, but I just followed his lead. And then he explained to me in regard to what happened with him going over with World War II and my father being over in Vietnam and the others who have served throughout the years of what that flag means, and having that time to reflect on our thoughts to those people and about our country, and to just have a moment that we can really look at ourselves and are we following that lead? Are we doing what we're supposed to do? Are we taking the responsibility and being respectful of those who've gone on before us and who are serving to this day, our veterans, and to thank them and appreciate what they do? And this is a time that we have as young people, as people of this nation, citizens. You are a citizen of this country, I am, and us to show our respect to those who have given so much, whether they've gone on and passed from this life or they're serving today. And so that's what I think of when I think of a moment of silence. It's just having that time to reflect and say thank you, because it is so important.
A moment of silence for me would be a chance to reflect on all of the people that I have known that have served this country and have given us the right to be sitting here in a classroom getting an education, because without the servicemen and women that have gone before us that we celebrated Veterans Day for, all this moment of silence wouldn't be possible. So I like to try to reflect back and think of the people that made a difference in my life that were veterans. And that would start with my dad. And my dad was such an important part to the things that I believe are important in this country, and he got those values again by serving in World War II. So it could be that, it could be any number of things, but most important, it's a time to reflect.
For me, it's a time to remember those brothers in arms, the ones who can't enjoy electricity or running water, or a hot meal. They live in conditions that you and I don't see day to day. I think about my brothers in arms all the time, whether they're in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, and even the Coast Guard. I think about those who can't be with us, who can only be with us in spirit, who have paid the ultimate price for our freedom. That is why our freedom is unique. We hold that silence to acknowledge those people that have given us our freedom. And as has been said before, our freedom isn't free. We've paid for it with our servicemen and women. We've paid for it with the people that have stepped forward for the ideals of freedom.
With all that being said, why don't we all join in a moment of silence at this time?